There is almost nothing more painful than watching your dog go from playful and bright to scratching all night, throwing up on the carpet, limping after a short walk, or dealing with one stomach issue after another. And when that keeps happening, most dog parents fall into the same miserable pattern. Another vet visit, another medication, a few better days, then somehow the problem creeps right back in. But what if part of the answer is sitting right in front of you every single day? What if the bowl you put down this morning is either feeding inflammation or helping your dog fight it? Now, let me say this right at the beginning, because I want to be honest with you. There is no magical ingredient on earth that guarantees your dog will literally never get sick again. Anybody promising that is selling fantasy. But there are absolutely a few strategic things you can add to your dog's food that make their body more resilient, their gut more stable, their skin calmer, and their immune system much harder to knock off balance. Hi, I'm Dr. Logan Wells, and as a veterinarian, my favorite kind of client is the one I barely see. Not because I don't love your dog, but because I want to see them for routine wellness visits, happy tail wags, and healthy aging. Not for another preventable flare-up that leaves both of you exhausted. So today, I'm going to show you the bowl upgrade I would start with first if I wanted to protect a dog's body from the inside out. Then, I'll show you the safest supporting add-ons, the biggest mistakes dog owners make without realizing it, and how to do all of this without destroying the balance of your dog's diet. If you care about building real health instead of just chasing symptoms, stay with me, because this can completely change the way you feed your dog. Chapter 1. Why so many dogs look fine until suddenly they don't. One of the biggest mistakes dog owners make is assuming that if their dog is eating every day, then the bowl must be doing its job. But eating and thriving are not the same thing. A dog can be getting enough calories and still have a body that is under constant stress. Sometimes that stress shows up as itchy ears. Sometimes it looks like paw licking, dull coat, loose stool, bad gas, low energy, weight gain, or joint stiffness that seems to arrive way too early. And the reason this happens is not always because the main food is bad. In fact, many commercial foods are complete and balanced and can absolutely be part of a healthy plan. The real problem is usually what happens around the food. It is the ultra-processed treats all day long, the random table scraps, the sugary or fatty add-ons, the constant diet switching, the bowl that never gets upgraded with anything that actually supports the gut, skin, joints, or immune system, or on the other side, the owner who throws 10 trendy ingredients into the bowl at once and accidentally creates digestive chaos. Your dog's body loves consistency, but it also loves quality. And if I had to pick one addition that gives me the biggest return in the real world, especially for dogs with itchy skin, inflammation, joint soreness, or chronic low-level irritation, it would be this. Chapter 2. The first thing I would add, a high-quality marine omega-3. If you only remember one part of this video, remember this. A reputable fish oil that delivers EPA and DHA is one of the smartest additions you can make to your dog's bowl. Why? Because inflammation is the common thread running through an enormous number of canine problems. Skin allergies, irritated joints, inflammatory bowel issues, and even the slow wear and tear of aging all get worse when inflammation stays switched on. Omega-3 fatty acids from marine sources help cool that process down. This is where a lot of people get confused. They hear omega-3 and think any oil will do. It won't. What your dog needs most is EPA and DHA, the long-chain marine omega-3s found in fish oil. Not just a pretty label, not just omega blend, not just something trendy from the supplement aisle. This is the bowl addition I reach for when a dog has itchy skin that never fully settles, stiffness getting up from bed, seasonal flare-ups, or a coat that looks tired and feels dry. I'm not telling you fish oil is magic. I'm telling you it supports the body in exactly the places where many dogs struggle most. But here is the critical part. More is not better. Too much fish oil can upset the stomach. In some dogs, it can worsen diarrhea. In others, especially dogs with pancreatitis history, clotting issues, or certain medications, it needs to be used carefully. That is why I prefer a product from a reputable company and dosing that matches the dog, not a random squeeze from a bottle, because someone online said it worked for their Labrador. So if you want the simplest version of this strategy, start here. Add a vet-quality marine omega-3 to your dog's meal and use it consistently, not once every 2 weeks, not whenever you remember. Consistency is what changes biology. And once you do that, the next place to support is the part of the body where so much of health really begins. Chapter 3. The gut is not just for digestion. It is a command center. Most owners think of the gut as a food tube. Food goes in, poop comes out, end of story. That is not how your dog's body sees it. Your dog's digestive tract is one of the biggest control centers for immune function. When the gut is stable, the whole dog often feels more stable. When the gut is irritated, suddenly you can be dealing with loose stools, gas, vomiting, weird appetite changes, flare-ups after stress, and sometimes even worsening skin problems. That is why the second edition I love is not fancy at all. It is targeted gut support, and the most reliable version of that is not a spoonful of random yogurt from your fridge. It is a veterinarian-recommended probiotic. Now, can plain yogurt with live cultures help some dogs? Sometimes, yes. But many dogs do not handle lactose well, and some yogurts are loaded with added sugar, or, even worse, dangerous sweeteners. So if your plan for gut health is just tossing in sweetened yogurt and hoping for the best, that is not a health strategy. That is a gamble. A proper canine probiotic is a much cleaner move. This is especially helpful for dogs going through stress, diet transitions, antibiotic recovery, occasional diarrhea, or that sensitive stomach dog who seems one bad snack away from disaster. A good probiotic helps support healthy gut bacteria, and when the gut bacteria are more balanced, digestion usually becomes less dramatic. Now, if I want one simple whole food support to pair with that, I like plain pumpkin. Not pumpkin pie filling, not pumpkin loaded with spice, sugar, or sweeteners. Plain pumpkin. A small amount of plain pumpkin can help support stool quality because of its soluble fiber. That means it can be useful when a dog's digestion is just a little off balance. But again, small amounts. This is support, not a giant side dish. So now you have a much smarter bowl already. First, marine omega-3 for inflammation support. Second, a vet-quality probiotic for gut stability. Third, a little plain pumpkin when digestion needs backup. And before I show you the foods I do and do not want in that bowl, there is one rule every dog parent needs to understand. Chapter 4. The 10% rule that protects your dog from your own good intentions. This is where loving owners accidentally sabotage an otherwise good diet. They start adding things because they care. A little egg here, a little yogurt there, a handful of treats, some peanut butter for pills, a bite of cheese, a healthy topper, a spoon of this, a splash of that. And suddenly, the dog is no longer eating a balanced diet. They are eating a nutrition experiment. Here is the rule. If your dog is eating a complete and balanced commercial food, then all the extras combined should stay small. Think of toppers and treats as support players, not the foundation. If extras start taking over the bowl, you can quietly unbalance the diet, pack in too many calories, and create the exact problems you were trying to prevent. This matters even more for small dogs, because a few tiny extras can represent a huge chunk of their daily calories. So what are the safest, smarter add-ins? A few blueberries. Fine. A little plain cooked egg. Fine. A bit of plain pumpkin. Fine. A measured fish oil supplement. Excellent. A veterinarian recommended probiotic. Great. What do I not want? Sweetened yogurt. Anything with xylitol. Garlic and onion seasonings. Fatty leftovers. Random supplement stacking. Or raw add-ons that make owners feel natural and holistic while quietly increasing the risk of bacterial contamination for both the dog and the household. That last one is important. A lot of people hear fresh and immediately assume raw is better, but raw diets and raw animal products carry real contamination risk. So if you want to upgrade the bowl, do it intelligently. Fresh does not have to mean reckless, because the goal is not to make the bowl more exciting. The goal is to make the dog more resilient. Chapter 5. The hidden destroyers that cancel out your good work. Now let me give you the warning list, because this is where many health plans fall apart. Destroyer number 1. Hidden sweeteners. If you use yogurt, peanut butter, or any human food in your dog's bowl, you must read the ingredient label. Xylitol is extremely dangerous to dogs, and the scary part is that owners often do not think of it as a dog toxin because it is marketed as a healthy, sugar-free ingredient for people. Your dog does not care about that marketing. To your dog's body, xylitol can trigger a dangerous blood sugar crash, so if it says sugar-free, low sugar, or naturally sweetened, check it before it goes anywhere near the bowl. Destroyer number 2. Too much fat too fast. Yes, some fat is useful, but dumping oils, cheese, bacon grease, or rich leftovers into the bowl is one of the fastest ways to create vomiting, diarrhea, and in some dogs, pancreatitis. This is why your additions need to be strategic, measured, and boringly consistent. Health is usually built through discipline, not excitement. Destroyer number 3, changing too many things at once. This one is huge. Owners get inspired and decide that starting tomorrow, their dog will get fish oil, pumpkin, kefir, egg, blueberries, bone broth, mushrooms, and a totally new kibble all in one weekend. That is not a plan. That is an ambush. When you introduce multiple foods at once, you have no idea what helped, what irritated the stomach, or what caused the loose stool. Add one new thing at a time. Give it a few days. Watch the dog. Then move forward. Destroyer number 4, careless food storage. You can buy expensive food and still ruin your dog's routine if you store it badly. Heat, moisture, and air are not your friends. Keep dry food sealed and stored properly, so you are not feeding stale food that has been sitting open forever in a warm garage or humid pantry. Destroyer number 5, confusing treats with nutrition. Your dog loving a food does not make it healthy. Your dog begging for a food does not make it smart, and your dog tolerating a food today does not mean it is building long-term health. The bowl should be driven by purpose, not emotion. And when you feed with purpose, everything changes. Chapter 6. The bowl protocol I would use in real life. So let's make this simple. If this were my dog, and I wanted to build a stronger, more stable body without turning feeding time into a chemistry project, here's how I would start. First, keep the main diet consistent and balanced. Do not throw out everything overnight unless your veterinarian told you to. Second, add one high-quality marine omega-3 supplement appropriate for your dog's size and health history. Third, if your dog has a sensitive stomach, stress-related digestive issues, or is recovering from antibiotics, add a veterinarian-recommended probiotic. Fourth, use plain pumpkin in small amounts when stool quality needs support. Fifth, if you want whole food extras, keep them simple and small. A little cooked egg, a few blueberries. Nothing sugary, nothing spicy, nothing with mystery ingredients. And sixth, remember that the healthiest bowl in the world cannot cancel out obesity, lack of exercise, chronic overfeeding, or ignoring symptoms that really need a vet exam. That is the real truth. No single ingredient makes a dog invincible. But the right bowl, repeated day after day, absolutely changes the terrain inside your dog's body. It can reduce inflammatory pressure. It can support the gut. It can help the skin. It can ease the joints. It can make the immune system less reactive and more effective. And that means fewer preventable crashes, fewer miserable flare-ups, fewer emergency messes at 2 a.m., and a much better chance that your dog gets to spend more of life doing what they were meant to do: running, playing, resting deeply, and growing old beside you with comfort and dignity. So if you are waiting for permission to stop feeding on autopilot and start feeding with intention, this is it. Start small. Pick one smart addition. Be consistent. Watch your dog closely, and build from there. Because protecting your dog's health is not about chasing miracles. It is about making better choices in the one place you control every single day: the bowl. If this helped you think differently about your dog's food, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and share it with another dog parent who wants fewer vet bills and a healthier, happier best friend. I'm Dr. Logan Wells. Give your dog something real to build from, and I'll see you in the next video.